Okay, so I've just wiped down the panels. This is what it looks like, and it's a little dirty from pollution. We have a quarry to the south of us, so there's always a bit of dust. It's not actually the dirt that's radioactive. It's colorless. If I had cleaned that panel previously before the rainstorm, I would have collected very little dirt. So now I'm on the scale times 1. So let's see what that gives us. Okay, just peg the needle. Let's go second scale times 10. Let's let it settle back down again. Peg the needle again. And settle down again. Let's try this again. There we go. And, oh, we're actually a little higher. Oh, this panel is actually much higher. That's 200 times the 100 scale. So that's 20,000 counts per minute. That's even higher than the first panel I watched. Wow. Wow. Oh, this beats the all-time record for sure, which was about 10,000 a few months ago. Okay, and just to prove something, on the back of the pancake Geiger tube, if I put the radioactive source, because it's not a gamma emitter or very weak, it barely increases the counts per minute. So now I'm back to the times 1 scale. You see I'm getting about 300. And if I put my hand and cover it up, again, see, my hand's absorbing the radiation. So this is either an alpha or a weak beta emitter. I've tried it with aluminum foil and stuff. It seems to be a combination of both. Oh, the rain's starting up again. Wow. So where this is coming from, I don't know. Fukushima? They're spiking the clouds with radioactive isotopes to do climate modification. I have no idea, but this is ridiculous. I mean, this is like crazy hot. If I were to wipe all the panels with one wipe, I would peg the needle on all 3 scales and then some. 20,000 for roughly 1 square meter wiped, because I can't really stretch my arm long enough to do the entire panel. But that's what we're looking at. That is crazy. And I'm just north of Toronto. Okay, that's it for now.
What you've just seen in this video is a person doing counts per minute in August of 2011. Obviously, a major radioactive event had occurred in Toronto, Canada, which is quite a ways from Fukushima, which basically confirms. I mean, to get that, such a high count, there's something extraordinary going on, and the fellow says possibly it's the geoengineering where they're spreading something in isotopes into the atmosphere. It's a possibility. I really believe that the nuclear industry, this criminal syndicate, is running geoengineering because they know they have majorly damaged the environment, the atmosphere. But I think what they're spraying is to suppress the radioisotopes from a chain reaction that are now in the atmosphere, to suppress them in some way. That's what I think. I believe it's actually possibly a mitigation to the dangers these isotopes present in the being suspended in the atmosphere. Anyway, what you've just seen is a person taking a count, which is out bloody outrageous. 20,000 counts per minute in Toronto in August of 2011. And I want to put a context again. I like putting things into context. And it's based on my opinion. Of course, it's based on my opinion and my insight, intuition to some extent, because this is how I work in my day-to-day living. It's not statistical. My life is not a statistic. It's a response to what it is, the influences that are going on around me. And sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. And it's like making a painting. Sometimes it really is excellent, and sometimes I miss it. It's a hit and miss. But this one is no miss. This is a fact. The fact that 3 full core meltdowns in a nuclear plant have occurred, unheard of. And whoever, no, I don't care what kind of scientific mind they have to say that it's not as serious as Chernobyl that had 1 reactor that blew up, even though we don't have the video evidence of it and we see Fukushima blowing up. Where are the goddamn fool poles? They keep telling people that they're there, and they're not there. They're not there. How could they be? They blew up. We saw it. And what about all that radioactive material in those fuel pools? That is a hell of a lot more than there was in Chernobyl. I'm a little upset today after seeing this 20,000 count per minute thing. Anyway, my context is that I say that this criminal syndicate is so enormous, the wealth. I'm going to give you a context of the wealth. And if you listen to people that are dealing with economic circumstances, debt is wealth. Debt is wealth. It's not asset, it's debt. Debt seems to be wealth. This is how cockamamie everything has turned out to be. So if you're a billionaire who owes the banks tens of billions or even 100 billion, you're considered a billionaire even though you're worth 0. Like Trump, he's bankrupt. He's bankrupted everything, but people lend this guy money, so he's a billionaire because he gets money lent to him. An insider. And people voted for him because he said, you know, I'm on your side. Did you see the palace, the palatial kitsch place he lives in? Did you see my video on the kind of place that Trump lives in? And you would actually think a person like that has any feeling for the common man? Anyway, I just wanted to, I just want to put into context what I believe the wealth of this industry is. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cite a figure that even TEPCO, Japan, has admitted that it'll be 100 billion for the cleanup in Fukushima Daiichi, which is very conservative, and 150 is very conservative to do a cleanup, which is impossible. They say 40 years cleanup, 100 billion, 150 billion. Now just think of this, the wealth, and I said debt is wealth. This is the richest industry in the history of all of humanity on this planet. It surpasses the Caesars, the pharaohs, all the rulers, the Genghis Khans, the Alexander the Greats, the magnificent, all these civilizations that have gone before that have ruled and dominated the planet. This is an industry that totally outstrips all wealth ever on this planet based on the debt that they're going to create. And the debt is, if you have 450 nuclear plants, and what it's going to take on average is 100 billion or 150 billion, even 100 billion, you're going to look at 60 trillion, just in terms of the debt that this syndicate has accumulated. This is something that we owe this outfit 60 trillion if you take Fukushima as an example for the cleanup. I'm just saying, I've always said it outstrips the military, industrial, agro, pharmaceutical, whatever industry that you want to attach yourself to. This nuclear industry, the medical industry, this syndicate outstrips all of them. It actually throws a blanket not only over us with radioactive isotopes they create every day, but also the wealth effect that they have created such enormous wealth with this toxic material. It's out bloody rageous. So I just thought I'd give a context to what it is, that I understand what's going on here, because it's about wealth and power, money. And my solution, and I've said this many times on my channel, my solution is that we begin to care about all the smallest things in our lives every day. Like literally try to be a better person by doing the right thing, by invoking what I've always said is conscience. Conscience is a dormant aspect to our nature. Humanity has displaced conscience with a lot of different things, from explanations and statistics and philosophies, ideas to attach oneself to. It is so simple. It is so simple to reactivate our humanity based on something that is inherent in every human being on this planet, unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath, like the people that are inventing shit like nuclear isotopes every day, the people that endorse an industry that is killing, proven killing life on this planet. And the wealth behind this is enormous. And the way we counter it is individually begin to do the right thing every day on the smallest of levels. And that will just snowball. When people realize they can make a difference in their own environment, in their own lives, from the smallest thing. And this is not me standing there saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, do this, do that. Oh, you have to do this. You don't have to do anything. You, first of all, the way I look at this, I have to accept what it is that what I understand about being a human being at this time. What I say is living in the age of fission. Made a huge difference to my art, to the work that I make. Just accepting something so fundamentally true, that we live in the age of fission. And of course, I have developed and elaborated on this in terms of culture, that I feel that this is a culture of death over 6,000 years. And how do I counter that? We would not be stuck with the problem of this radioactive monster breathing down our necks. We would not be stuck with this if this culture, the fundamental nature in our culture, was not based on death. The romance we have with the Grim Reaper, we see it all around us, everywhere. And the way we counter that is to activate this really elegant, beautiful part in all of us, which is conscience. Conscience. And imagine if that works, the next stage of that would be some kind of a, I don't know, it would be a form of utopia, I guess. And doesn't mean we wouldn't have problems. It just means that we'd be able to solve them, especially something like nuclear. My dissertation today. The richest industry ever, this nuclear criminal syndicate, is bankrupting this country by creating this debt. 60 minimum 60 trillion for everything that has been created in the last 70 years. All this nuclear garbage. And it can't be really cleaned up, but the amount of money involved in this industry is just enormous. Wow.